It's a Grizzly Bastard, 1-800-223-9797, Hot 97. Got that new Dynasty Land football from Fantasyland Football. They're growing hot, growing big. Get in fast right here, right now. Patreon.com/Fantasyland. Fam, a great way to support the show. Not only support the show, but if you want to play Fantasyland football, some football with these guys, something special is going to happen this season. Hey, I may be from New York. I'm going to tell you here right now that the New York Football Giants are going to make the playoffs. Huh? The Washington Commanders are still going to have Dan Snyder as the owner for probably the remainder of till he dies, his lifetime. That's unfortunate. I didn't say Dan Snyder. I said Dan Snyder. Listen. Oh. Put it in my Louis bag. Don't let it on the phone. It was a stormy winter. And all the pain. I'm in. It's not muted, by the way. It's not muted. Mute the stream.
Okay.
Talk it up. Talk it up. What's happening, people?
What's popping? Welcome to the stream, ladies and gentlemen.
It's a beautiful day here in Sydney, Australia. It's raining, nice and gloomy.
Yeah.
Huh?
Tell us a little bit about it then.
No, it's honestly terrible weather. I'll be completely honest with you.
How's everyone doing? What's up, everybody in the chat? I want to know what everyone ate for dinner tonight. It's what, 8:05 p.m. What'd you eat for dinner last night, Badaki?
I had pork chops with some mashed potatoes.
Yum.
Yeah.
Yum, yum, yum,
Yeah.
yum, yum. Okay, I want you to vamp for like 5 seconds. I'm just going to let people know that we're live in Discord.
Yeah. No stress. What's happening, everyone? Everyone in the chat. See Zach, Kendall, the Metal Show, Baba, Kenny, Cody, Adam, Juxter, Daniel. What's happening, yo? All the way from New Mexico. That's love, man. What's happening? Minnesota. Sheesh. Snowing in Minnesota. Gator fan. What's happening, everyone? While Zach's doing that, I'll just plug really fast. Just get this out the way. Patreon.com/FantasylandFam, guys. If you want to join Zach and I in the Dynasty League or in a redraft league, Patreon.com/FantasylandFam. Once Zach is off his phone, he'll definitely add that to the chat. But if you want, it comes with so much more. Not just playing fantasy with us. You get unlimited advice, our thought processes on your team, breakdowns of your team. And we also have rookie profiles, our draft rankings throughout the year and updated all throughout the season. And as the season gets closer and closer, so patreon.com/FantasylandFam. Great way to support the show and just be part of the community.
I love how much people are vibing this channel. It's so fun to hop on a live stream and have everyone like all in the chat. What's up, Cody? What's up, Zach, Kendall? The Metal Show is A-Rod the biggest troll in the NFL? Love catching these lives, by the way. I definitely thought he was going to announce something, bro. I have to be honest with you. I definitely thought he was going to announce something.
100%. It's just classic, though. I was just doing a cleanse and I just had to get that off my chest type vibe. I actually didn't watch the interview with Pat McAfee. And
I'm about 10 minutes in after we just recorded some content today. I started watching it, but I'm only 10 minutes in. And, I mean, it's interesting, some of the things that he's saying. Based off what he said today, I think he's going to be back in Green Bay, but I have only watched 10 minutes of that intervw, so it's hard to say. Baba, what's up?
Cody. Shout out to Cody. Just signed up for our Patreon, man. We really appreciate you supporting the show.
Cody,
Thank you so much,
Cody
man.
Hutchinson, shout out to you, my guy. Thanks for supporting us over there on Patreon. That means a lot. Baba, actually, this is Bammer. He just signed up to play in our Dynasty Leagues yesterday.
Awesome.
Or,
man,
I think it was last week, actually. But thanks for joining the stream. I know you're going to be mocking with us tonight. What's up, Kenny? Cody's back in here. Adam Baker's in here. Juxter says 7 inches of snow in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Had breakfast for dinner for Cody. Hello from New Mexico. Daniel said that already. Gator fan. Having crock-pot chicken, mashed potatoes, and broccoli. Sheesh.
By the way, Zach said he had Panda Express.
Oh,
I have a love-hate relationship with Panda Express, okay? Because do you guys ever have those experiences where you eat something and then something terrible happens? So I ate Panda Express and then I got sent to the hospital and I was in the hospital for like a month. And I loved their orange chicken, but for whatever reason, if I try and eat it now, it's just like I
makes
can't
sense,
do it.
though.
It's awful.
Like, what does that happen? Because Panda Express is Chinese food, essentially, but just fast food version of that.
Yeah.
I actually never had Panda Express
How?
because I'm from New York.
I'm from New York. I'm walking
If I'm gonna get
here.
some Chinese food, I'm gonna go to a Chinese spot in the corner or something.
As if you've never traveled somewhere and just been like, oh yeah, I'll try Panda Express.
No, it always looked bad to me personally.
Yeah.
That's
Thanks
funny.
everybody for joining us tonight. Axe Canoe says, yo, what's up, guys? First time here. Thanks for joining, my guy. Welcome. What's up, Connor? Dustin, what's up? 5-star
Kevin
Pete says,
oh.
can I join? Let's tell people how they can join tonight's mock draft. It's actually super simple. In the chat box, you will see there is a comment from us that is pinned. There's a link to our Discord channel. All you have to do is join our Discord. There's no paywall or anything. Completely free. You join our Discord. Then there's a channel in our server called Dynasty Dammit. There's a Dynasty mock draft channel. That's where we will send the link here in a couple minutes for anyone to join. It's first come, first serve type scenario over there. Dustin Brady says 65 or 35% Rodgers plays in the NFL next year. 65/35%. I'm guessing that's like 65 to 35%. You think he'll play?
Maybe. I don't know.
What's up, John?
Kevin said he's new to the channel as well. What's up, brother? Thank you for coming through. Make sure you like and subscribe. It really helps us out.
Appreciate
Cold in
that.
Maine as well. I think you said Connor. Yeah.
Clyde says salami. Clyde, are you only eating salami tonight?
Yo, tell me
Is that your dinner?
anyone out there knows Gugine, huh?
Uh,
The meals for Gugine. He was
close
like
on Sunday so I can hang with your sister.
and his sister. He
Yeah.
was like has lettuce in his
Hey, Gugine.
sandwich and says it's basically a salad. It's basically a salad.
Um, yeah, Matt, hospital for a month. I don't really tell people this, but I have Crohn's disease, so I had a little issue there. Jaxter said, Panda's orange chicken tastes so good, but it feels bad eating it. Yeah, it is terrible for you, but it tastes so good. Hot wings for Zach tonight. Chippy says, yo, just had some corn dogs and fries for dinner. My guys living the life. I love a good corn dog. They don't do corn dogs in Australia, man. They don't do them in Australia. It's messed up. Corn dogs are fire. That's like just a fire
They barely got hot dogs here.
Yeah.
They got technically Frankfurt is.
Yeah. Okay, so we have a poll today, and we have a like goal of 75 likes, okay? We've already hit the other like goal, which was 50. So we have a like goal of 75 likes. If we get to 75 likes, I have to do whatever the poll says. So I either have to shave my beard, so I'll go fully
That's
no beard.
Soft, I mean,
bro, that's
like
big. I love having my beard. I feel like I look like so young without a beard. And I think that will be an advantage later on in my life. But right now, I think the beard looks good. I like the beard, And then the other option is to say one nice thing about the Giants. And honestly, I might have to shave my beard. That might be the better option. But we are already at 32 likes, and that is frightening because we don't typically have that many likes this early on. So thank you so much.
All love.
Who do you guys value more, Russ or Stafford? I think I lean Russ, but just barely. I'd have to double check my rankings there. But let's go ahead and get to what we're here to do, okay? So there is a rookie-only mock draft tonight, okay? Shout out to Bammer Time. If you guys have never been in a mock draft with us, send us a message if you don't get in before the next one, and we will do our absolute best to get you in to the mock draft we're doing on that night. We always want to make sure everyone gets a chance. But Badaki, tell people, are you about to paste a link in the chat for people to join?
Yeah, I'll definitely paste the link in the chat.
By the way, hi Sean on Twitch. I'm trying to look at Twitch a little more today.
Lurking, yeah, all love Sean. Yeah, I have it open as well. If you guys don't know, we do have a Twitch. If you guys want to, no matter what platform you want to go to, you can go to either Twitch or YouTube. YouTube is our main platform, but we are trying to grow a Twitch channel. But yes, absolutely. So the link is going to drop here on this link. I'm going to, if you guys don't know, the Discord, join our Discord if you're here for the first time and come in. And I'm going to add everyone. This is the channel where the link is
so you're about to send a message over there on Discord to let people know what channel it is,
And then I'm going to tag everyone really fast. Okay. And then I'll give you guys some time.
All right.
So this is the channel where the link's going to drop. And then I'm going to copy the link. Wow. It's just steps, It's step by step, honestly. Once again, giving you guys some time to get there.
It's going to go quick.
I know it's a little bit delayed, and all these mock drafts are starting to go fast, especially these rookie ones. People want to do these rookie ones. All right, looks like I think it's good to go.
Yeah, let's drop that link. Let's get people in here.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. There goes the link out now. So hopefully people can come through.
The link is now active, ladies and gents.
Next minute, nobody gets in, and everyone's like,
Goat's in, Dave's in, Killer's in, Rude's in, Pie, Juxer's in, Trippy's in, Sean is in one spot, and it's gone. D. Lawrence. Okay, we are completely full. Again, if you did not get into tonight's mock and you want to, let's say you haven't been able to, just send us a message on Discord, the Fantasyland Football account. DM us there before the next one. Say, hey, I haven't been able to get into one. I really, really want to. And we will make sure that you get in. We always want everyone to have a chance to mock with us. We don't want someone to feel like they don't have that chance, because everyone should.
Okay. That's right.
So this is pretty self-explanatory today. This is obviously we're drafting for 2022 rookies. It is rookie only. Okay, this is a SuperFlex rookie only draft. Obviously PPR format. You're going to draft based off of maybe team needs. I argue that talent is what you should draft based off of. I think 90% of your decision should be talent. You know, if you're if you're maybe looking at two players and they're same tier for you, but you have more needs somewhere else, then maybe that's where the decision is made. But just so everyone is aware, there will be times where we stop this mock draft. If you're mocking with us, there will be times where we pause it just so we can talk about what's happened, because this could go in 10 minutes and we couldn't really have good conversation. So we will pause the mock draft every little bit to have conversations about the picks that have gone off the board, just so you're aware of that happening. Killer K is the 101. I'm just going to tell people in the draft that that's happening as well, Badaki, for 1 second.
Yeah, go ahead, do that. Yeah, and I guess kind of to build on what Zach was saying, you know, depending on your team, you know, maybe you want to draft for positional needs. Zach likes to draft on based off talent. It all depends for me. I think I like to. It really depends. You know, obviously all these guys are going to be, once they get a landing spot, it's going to change dramatically right now. You know, we say that Garrett Wilson or Drake London is the best wide receiver, whatever the case may be. But if he goes to a really bad team where we don't think he's going to produce, he is not going to get drafted in the top 5 or 6 potentially, if you're drafting basing on like landing spot.
I think maybe he falls a couple spots, but I think I'm gonna bet on the talent. You know.
Yeah, exactly. You know, like I would probably look at it a little bit differently, but that's the thing. This is just our opinions.
Yeah,
things are gonna change as the draft and everything happens. By the way, guys, the combine is less than a week away, just a couple of days. I think it's on Monday. Yeah, it's on Monday. I think it's Monday afternoon.
It's like a 4-day event, if I'm not mistaken, 3 or 4 days. But it's gonna be a fun one. I'm excited to watch. We just released a video talking about players that we are wanting to see at the combine. A watch list, if you will. Trippy says he's got the Twitch stream open and muted just to get more views. I love that. Brian says Bijan Robinson to stash. Oh my gosh, bro. Bijan looks special. He might be the 101 next year. We'll have to wait and see. He'll be in the conversation. All right.
Change the title for Twitch as well. It's wrong. Anyways,
go. You go ahead and change that. Okay, here we go. We're gonna start this draft off. Okay, 2 minutes on the clock. Take as much time as you want. We will pause it at certain points. So the 101 goes to Killer K. This will be interesting. This will be interesting to see what happens here. I think we all have an opinion on who should be the 101, but
I think this is like the fantasy community consensus. Whoever Killer K does take here, we'll just gotta wait and see, you know, who he takes and where he goes. I think it's gonna be very, very interesting. I've seen a lot of mock drafts saying that he's going to the Eagles. That's like 3 different ESPN and Sports Center, all these different people talking about Shea and who the hell is Mel Kiper?
Ooh, okay. Interesting. Okay, normally you see Treylon then Brees. So that is interesting. So we see Treylon off the board at the 1-2, Brees Hall at the 1-1. I think you can make a case for Brees or Treylon at the 101. Treylon feels like the most secure, but at the same time, it's so rare to find running backs who can be a workhorse in the NFL. So I understand both ways, as I'm sure you do as well, Badaki.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Okay, so I'm just going to open my rankings up because I don't want to make a decision without looking at it. And I'm actually looking at our profiles, which we're going to release here soon.
Yeah, I had to do a couple more gradings for some of these players, but it should be out sometime at the end of this week, early next week. Appreciate you, Mark. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Mark. Appreciate that, bro.
Funny.
Okay, so I'm on the board here. A lot of people are in love with Wilson. I'm not one of those people. I was hoping either Burks or Brees would be on the board. This is why I feel like maybe it's good to trade back. I mean, I'm sitting here at the 1-3, and I'm like, oh,
you kind of,
who do I actually want here?
It's a massive fall off here, and I think this is where, that's what I'm saying. This is where I think you could potentially go for, based on where they land. Like that can change. This is going to change a lot. Like I think it's gonna be a lot easier knowing if, for example, Kenneth Walker goes to the Falcons, and he's gonna have the workload immediately.
I don't like this, to be honest, at all, because Jameson is the next in my rankings. I'm not going to take him here at the 1-3.
Right.
All right. I'm sorry that took a long time. I'm going to take Kenneth Walker there at the 1-3. I really don't like this. I'll be honest with you. Like, I don't feel good about this. I kind of, if I'm not at the 101 or the 1-2, then maybe I want to be at the 1-6.
You kind of see how the board is going to fall to you because the talent gap from Brees to Traylon falls tremendously, at least in our minds. Well, actually, I would have taken somebody.
You would have taken, yeah, I know. You would have taken Wilson. He's not going to be available.
So, like, I don't think he's going to be available. So that would have been an easy pick for me. But after him, I think it really falls off, and it really depends on how you want to create your team and build your team in the future. So, like, it makes sense now that Malik goes because he has probably the highest upside.
That's who I was considering there, yeah. It was between Malik and 3 other players, one being Kenneth. I think if I'm at the 1-3, I think I'm going to trade back this year. If I have the 103, I think I'm going to trade back to the 1-6 or the 1-8. Because, again, the only reason I'm taking Walker there is because I believe that he can be a 3-down running back. But it doesn't feel good taking him there at the 1-3. I would much rather be at the 1-6 and have a bunch of options that I really love, and maybe I get more draft capital in return. So
yeah,
I don't like that. I don't like the 1-3 at all.
Just address the chat here. Yeah, man, everything goes pretty quick here now in our mock drafts. Once again, if you guys want to join a mock draft, please send us a message on Discord, and we'll try to get you guys in one of these mock drafts. Cody, thoughts on Javonte if Gordon re-signs with Denver? Would you trade Javonte for the 106 and 107 if that happens? I don't think I'm trading Javonte even if Melvin does re-sign. I think if he does re-sign, it's a minimum 1 year. Maybe Javonte sits back a little bit more, or he continues to see that workload increase. But
he's not. I can promise you, he's not going to be back. Okay.
No, man.
Based off of what Melvin has said, he's not going to be back in Denver. He doesn't want to take a backseat to Javonte, but he's going to if he's there. At the end of the day, I'm not selling Javonte at this point for anything.
Yeah, I'm not selling Javonte either. But
you could convince me, but I'm not selling him at this point. All right, so we got Malik, then Garrett Wilson off the board at the 1-5, and then Drake London. I think we will see Wilson and London probably more around the 3-4. I'm not in love with Wilson. I'm not in love with London. So that's why it was just such a hard spot to be at the 1-3. I really would love to trade back. But Wilson, a lot of people love him. See Keenan Allen in him. Drake London, there's comps to Mike Evans. We have released a video as to why we aren't as high as a Dynasty community as a whole. But still, this is probably where he's going to go in most of your startups at the 1.6.
Yeah, and this is where, once again, I'm glad I picked this because I assumed these guys were off the board. If Drake London was there, I probably would have taken him. Now I'm stuck between 3 people. I think for me, it's either going to be, and I'll say for the community because I think they should know. For me, I think of David Bell, George Pickens, and Chris Olave.
Right.
I really don't know who to go. Technically, Chris Olave is my wide receiver 2 in my rankings.
There you go. That's the answer.
And
trust the rankings. Trust your eye.
That should be the answer. But like my heart and gut is want to say go with Pickens, because maybe the upside and the landing place is going to be better. But I'm going to go with my rankings today. I'm going to go Chris Olave here. I'm not in love with it, but I'm glad.
See, I would actually rather be at the 1-7 and get some sort of capital for trading back from the 1-3 and take an Olave, take a Pickens, take a whoever it might be. Because that feels like a better pick to me at the position. Brian says, just joined Discord and a friend requested you both. That's awesome, man. Welcome to the Discord. Storm Bucket, what's up? Brian says, Joe Burrow's cigar is your alert. That's amazing. Yes, sir. Sleeper, what's up, Sleeper Marcus? Shout out to his boy, Go Even. Apparently, Go Even knows Sleeper, so that's awesome. So much is going to change in the next month. You're very, very right, Dave. Very right. Jeff says could get Olave at that spot in the second. At that spot in the second. I don't think Olave will ever fall to the 2-7. I have to disagree with you there if that's what you're saying. I don't see Olave falling out of the first, to be honest, man.
I know some people are either all in on Olave or off on Olave, and I think I'm right in between. I believe in him, and I don't think he's going to be amazing, but it depends on where he lands. So
yeah, I've personally never seen Olave go outside the 112. Even in Superflex. Yeah, even in Superflex. I mean, the thing with the quarterbacks this year is outside of Malik Willis, even Malik Willis, there's not a guarantee that any of these quarterbacks are going to be fantasy relevant. You know, they're all decent quarterbacks. Landing spot's going to be key, but I think that the wide receiver class in particular is so much stronger than the quarterback class this year. So
yeah, I guess the thought process is that like the longevity of the wide receivers could last longer than these quarterbacks outside of, in my opinion, Malik and Kenny Pickett. Other than that, I don't think I want to bank on Sam Howell or Matt Corral over a wide receiver that I think could
Yep.
give me a lot more years in fantasy.
Jusha says, I think he could fall to the early second, but I don't know about mid. Jeff says he's seen him in the mid second often. I think it's an awful idea for Chris Olave to be dropped all the way to the 2-7, but I respect the opinion. I respect what you're saying. But at the 2-7, Olave at the 2-7, that feels unrealistic for me that would happen. But I could be wrong. I really could be wrong.
Yeah, interesting.
Joshua says 2 away from 500 subs. I know it's been really, really cool to see this community grow so quickly. Let's talk about some of the picks that have just happened, Badaki. So we have Isaiah Spiller. You and I, not as high on Isaiah Spiller as the rest of the Dynasty community. However, I can see the validity in taking the running back there at the 1-8. Then Kenny Pickett at the 1-9. Some people take him at, earlier in the draft. It is a super flex draft here, super flex settings. So Kenny Pickett at the 1-9. Are you comfortable with him there?
Yeah, I'm comfortable with him there. I've taken Kenny Pickett at the 1-9 multiple times here, and depending on your team, I'm okay with that right there.
Okay, and then we have Jahan Dotson at the 110, David Bell at the 111. Both very intriguing prospects, offer different things, bring different things to the table. What's crazy is we might not see 5 wide receivers in the first round of the draft this year. We might not see that, but we could see like 10 to 20 go off the board in the first 3 rounds. A lot of these wide receivers are going to go off the board probably in the second round from this point onwards. But I like David Bell. I like what he can offer. Same with Jahan. Really interesting prospects there. And then the 112, ladies and gentlemen. Jameson Williams at the 112. I mean, he's my favorite player in this draft. That's why I was considering him at the 1-3. I know everyone's going to tell me that's absolutely insane, but I was considering him at the 1-3. The issue is, again, like it's a little bit too early. It feels wrong to take him at the 1-3. That's difficult, man.
It's a split. Like for me, I'm happy to take him at the 112, but anywhere, I feel like anywhere before 1-8, I don't know if I'm taking him. That's purely because of that injury. He is the most talented. Like before that injury, probably the most talented wide receiver in this class, and he would have been the 101 potentially. But
that's the thing, right? I'm betting on the talent long term. I'm not going to not draft Jameson Williams because of the injury. I understand that it's something that we have to be concerned about, but we're all agreeing that he would be a top 3 pick in this class if it wasn't for the injury. So bet on him long term as a talent. You're only going to miss him, first 2 months of this season, maybe 1 month if he recovers earlier.
Yeah.
So
look,
if we're talking about the totality of a dynasty, of his career, Jameson's career, then come on. I mean, that's not a reason that he should be falling.
Yeah, and I think, someone like me that I would rather get somebody now that can contribute to my team, because I do, for example, you can either take a Jameson Williams or a Garrett Wilson. I think there's no doubt, once again, injury is plays a part of it, but I think I would still take Garrett Wilson over him purely because I know.
You know what's funny about this? Jameson Williams going to fall late in the first. He's going to go to the Chargers, the Chiefs, one of those teams, and then he's going to be a top 3 pick. Watch. Everyone's going to be like, oh, I wasn't so worried about the injury.
Maybe.
Actually, I'm okay. Like he's going to be on one of those high-powered offenses, and then
it's definitely going to be interesting. But I
think people are going to be way more
he could go
with him.
to one of those high-power offenses or sit out for the year, because I don't think he'll be ready in time for this season. He's gonna miss. He's gonna miss. I feel like a good portion of the season. Maybe he comes in and contributes during the playoffs if he goes to a contending team. But it's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, personally, I just think it's a mistake to not take him if injury is the only thing that you're worried about. If you don't like him as a prospect, that's different. But let's just catch up with the chat. Olave goes outside the first sometimes, from what I've seen. That's Sleeper saying that. Sleeper Marcus. Jameson, the 4 quarterbacks, and Spiller are all higher ADP typically. Trippy says Olave won't make it out of the first in most leagues, maybe early second. Jess says Olave is a baller for sure. He's been balling in college for a long time, but most fantasy communities off of him, and he falls to the second. Definitely see him in the second in SuperFlex mocks. Kansas says Olave is going to be a top 20 pick. No way he falls outside the first round. Okay, so we can see a lot of people, even in the chat, are disagreeing on it or have different perspectives. Sean's talking about the injury. Such a shame for Jameson. I agree. All right, I need to make a pick. I need to have a look at the board here. I'm just trying to see who's off the board. Okay, so Pickens goes at the 2-1, which is such good value. I really, really love that value there for you. All right, so this is difficult, man.
I gotta put some dudes on my queue here.
This is really, really difficult for me at this point because I don't really feel comfortable with the running backs on the board at this point. You know, draft capital would be crucial for them. So I think I'm gonna go with Wandell here, a guy that I really want to see at the combine. What's he actually gonna? What's his weight? What's his measurements gonna be? What's his height? Is he 5'11"?
Yeah,
is he 5'7"?
so many questions.
Like, let's get that figured out. And I really, really do like Wandell here at the 2-3.
There's still some people out there. Yeah, man, the fall off is tremendous. You know.
There's still good talent, but I mean, yeah.
I think it's pretty big in my opinion. I mean, there's definitely good talent, but I think I see 1, 2, 3 people that probably could potentially go. Actually just one person that can go in the first.
Yeah.
And he's still out there. I'm pretty sure he'll get picked here soon.
I'm just catching up on the chat here. Casey says you have to take a swing on Williams. We're trying to get league winners here. Better to take a chance on him than draft someone with a higher floor but lower ceiling. I definitely respect that opinion, respect that take where you're coming from. Sleeper says if you really want someone who will contribute to your team quicker, then just trade the pick for someone who's already established.
Yeah, true.
Makes sense.
That can work as well.
You do have to go talent or production. Which one do you want off the bat? Let's see. Just sent this in your combine video. Not taking Wandell if he's measured under 5'10". By Apple says Wandell over first round draft capital quarterback. That's gross. Yeah, look, you guys can believe in the quarterbacks this year. I don't believe in them. So for me, there's a massive gap in talent between the wide receivers and the quarterbacks. But still, you can take a swing. Like it to me, if Corral and Sam Howell, if all 4 of the quarterbacks are off the board in the first round, I'm not surprised. But for me, there's other talents that I like more that I'd rather take a chance on than these guys. Outside of Malik, there's not like I will take a quarterback if it's a position of need, but I'm not really excited about these guys, to be honest with you. Anyone know how tall Rashad White is? I believe he's 6'2".
Yeah, that's what no Crown's mind.
Zach Miller says I don't like taking Dotson before JMO and Pickens. I get that. Trippy says, chat going crazy. It's legit people's opinions on who they draft, and y'all calling these bad picks. That's the thing, honestly. Like,
yeah,
I truly believe that you can make a selection. You can justify any pick that you make, honestly. I really do think that you can justify any pick. This is why we mock. You see where the ADP falls. And yeah, in some of the other Superflex leagues, quarterbacks probably will go higher than where they're going here. But based off of our conversations, Badaki and I we're not in love with these quarterbacks this year. So that's probably what a lot of people are seeing is them falling and being curious as to why. But Pickens at the 2-1, I love that. I just want to talk about some of these picks real quick because we've kind of been looking at the chat. It's hard to keep up. So Kyron at the 2-2. Are you okay with that? Kyron Williams at the 2-2. I know that there's someone on your board that you're probably going to draft here.
No, I think I know who I'm going to take over him potentially.
Yeah.
Kyron Williams there. It's all right. I think I would have taken the guy that I would rather have at the 2-2 over Kyron Williams at this very moment.
Yep. I'm okay with Kyron Williams there. I think draft capital is going to be massive for him. You know, if we see him fall to the 4th round in the NFL draft, he's probably not going to be going this high.
Yeah.
Rachaad White, very interesting prospect. Then we have Matt Corral, Sam Howell off the board. Look, if you're at the 2.5 and 2.6, you might as well take a shot
Yeah, there's
at
no
the
doubt.
quarterback here. So it makes sense.
We did a video on Matt Corral and Sam Howell this week. So did actually these past 3 guys. We just did a video on, so those are going to be coming out soon. All right, so I'm going to go with my other guy. I'm going to go tight end here, first tight end off the board.
I like it.
Like Trey McBride here. A guy who's probably going to go to any other team, contribute immediately. Hopefully he goes to a team that he can contribute immediately. Yeah. Get that tight end one out the way.
It's not who I thought you were going to go, but I like it. If there's a player that's really high in your rankings that's still on the board, I thought you might lean towards. But I love Trey McBride. He can do everything. You know, you look at guys like Weidemeyer and Likely, they're really interesting talents, but they might be limited on how many snaps they can play because they're not very good blockers. You look at Trey McBride, he can do literally everything. So he'll be on the field for such a high percentage of his snaps. And he's probably going to be pretty highly drafted. Then we see Sky Moore at the 2.8. I love Sky Moore. I think you like Sky Moore. I don't know where you sit on that.
I like him. You know, when it comes down to these undecided receivers, I'm a little bit iffy. You know, somebody like last year, like a Rondell, was a little bit off. He was fantastic in the combine, and you know, all his, I guess his verticals and
well,
his
there was
speed
no combine, but
yeah, I guess pro days were incredible. But you know, I kind of stray away from those smaller wide receivers because I don't see them really shining and doing you know much in the NFL.
Right. Okay. I'm just going to pause to look at the chat real quick. All right. Firstly, it is actually okay, by the way. Everyone has an opinion on these and where players should go, where they believe they should go, and if it should be a quarterback, what position it should be. That's okay. We welcome all 100%. The opinions. Genuinely, there's not a wrong thing to say. Just want to say that from the get-go. Sleeper Marcus says, whoever you decide to pick, it's probably the wrong choice. Gonna have some guys that go in the 2nd round that are big risers, and some in the 1st round who are underwhelming. That's true. I think there's only like a less than 50% hit rate on your picks in rookie drafts.
Yeah, and I think that's what's crazy is that like it's gonna change regardless. You know, once we know these landing spots, maybe Matt Corral and Sam Howell is going to be going in the top 5 in our drafts. Right now, we're just going based on the talent, what we know, what we think, who we believe in right now. You know, right? People were saying Malik Willis is a project, but you know they took him at the 1.4. Kenny Pickett, the most ready quarterback, quote unquote, the most ready quarterback in the NFL according to all these analysts, and he's going 1.9. So these just people who you believe in right now, and I think that's what's the whole fun part about drafting.
Sean says, hey, if you make bad picks in your drafts, then if others make bad picks in your drafts, that's a bonus for you for sure. Hey, if someone makes a pick and you're like, that's terrible, well, there's probably better people on the board in your eyes. So that's actually ideal. I definitely thought Jerome Ford would have gone to you. Zach said the same thing.
Yeah, I definitely did a different route. I think the past 3-4 mock drafts that we've done so far, I've taken Jerome Ford, which is great. I know where I can get him, you know, but once again, it can change. I think I don't know, man. I think some of these guys are going to go in the 1st now. You know, I think Pickens going to go in the 1st. Jerome Ford's going to go in the 1st. Trey McBride could potentially go in the late, like 112 to 1. Like all these guys are going to go a lot earlier than what we really expect right now. It's going to be good. What we should do as a video, which could be interesting, is like the last mock draft that we do, take a screenshot and then compare it to a real one that we're actually going to do. Like, look how drastic things are has changed. You know
what do you mean before the draft?
Yeah, before the draft, and then the one after the draft.
Casey says, "Have you guys done a deep dive on Abram Smith? I know the running back out of Baylor. We did scout him. Honestly, there's just nothing that really stood out to me that would separate him from the other backs in the NFL." Clyde says there will be at least 3 quarterbacks, probably 4 in the 1st round of my rookie drafts. As many as go in 1st round of the NFL draft. Understandable. Trippy said Christian Watson was being drafted in the 4th round 2 weeks ago. What happened since then? His ADP skyrocketed. Now everybody's going to be stealing him from me. Well, so Watson now goes at the 210. So let's talk about that pick. To me, I'm trying to see, let's see what other players were on the board at that point. What other wide receivers were on the board. I think you can justify it here at the 210, but even though I like Christian Watson, I'm not so certain that that the hype is going to translate to the NFL. That being said, the
Yeah, look.
size alone, the intangibles alone, you can justify him going
Hmm.
here at the 210. And I
Yeah, and
think
I
it's a
think
Senior Bowl. I think that's what maybe made him rise.
yeah, I think. Sorry, I'm just catching all the chat. Something is funny. Look, what's the two things that I said in this past video, that we just did a video on him, is that from the season to the Senior Bowl, you saw the things that he needed to improve on, and he improved in a short amount of time. So if he
Yeah.
can do that again in the NFL Combine and improve once again, and be like, okay, well, he needs to improve on his route running. He needs to improve on his catching. He needs to improve on blocking. Whatever the case may be, he's going to continue to rise because we've seen the progression in a short period of time. If he can do that here now, that means he can do that week by week in the NFL and then
Yeah.
continue to be a star. Christian Watson is a guy that I think will be taking where Wandale Robinson went, purely
Uh,
because we would rather have. I think it could get to that point. I'm not saying it will happen. It
yeah.
could get to that point purely because of his size and the way he can be utilized
Yeah.
outside of Wandale. But I get why Wandale went so
For
early,
sure.
because he's talented, and that's kind of where the NFL is kind of
Yeah.
going.
There's
So,
a lot of things that Watson needs to improve on. A lot of things. So for me, I don't know that the combine's going to change how I view him a ton. But we see Tyler Algier at the 2.9. Not our favorite running back on the board at that point, but you can definitely
mhm.
justify taking him. He handled a massive workload at BYU. And then Jerome Ford, a guy that we really love, falls to the 211. Really excited to watch him at the combine. I'm just trying to catch up with the chat. I'm sorry, guys. It's so hard to keep up.
Go
Thank you,
back and
Spencer,
forth,
for
yeah.
subscribing. He said he just
Yeah,
subscribed. I really
appreciate you,
appreciate
man.
that.
Hopefully you get that
Sean
notification.
says, in one of my leagues, I will be very surprised if a quarterback goes in the first, second, or even third round. Yeah, it definitely. A lot of people view these quarterbacks so differently.
So differently.
Let's go ahead and continue the draft. I don't want to hold it
Yeah.
off too much.
Yeah, continuing. Then Dave says if Willis gets picked up by Pitts, he's going to be a star. I believe so that as well. I think that's where he's going to end up going. They express a lot of interest in him. Tim, it's just me or my device, or is it board ineligible? I don't
Eligible.
know.
Eligible? I think we don't
Ineligible?
even know how to say that word. I actually don't even know what that means.
Yeah.
Spencer says, love y'all. Sleeper, we do agree. He had a very good pro day.
we
Watson
like,
did.
Yeah.
Spencer says, love y'all stuff. And one more time, I'll say it. I'm a new subscriber. Y'all's content is great. I love Dynasty football.
That's awesome, man.
This past season was finally my first time doing it. That's awesome, man.
All love, man. Appreciate you.
Welcome, Spencer. Welcome, Zach. Everyone's doing Dynasty for the first time. That's awesome. All right, so we see Brian Robinson off the board at the 212, John Mechie at the 3-1. Brian Robinson's a really interesting name because I think he could get higher draft capital than some of the other talents that we like, purely because he's been in the Alabama system. A lot of GMs want an Alabama running back, so if he gets drafted higher than some of these guys, we could see him maybe even earlier than that. And then John Mechie at the 3-1, caught 96 balls at Bama. Just not a prospect that we're in love with, though. It's hard to justify him as a talent over all the other wide receivers. Hey,
best way we can. I like to describe him is that he's going to be a good complementary wide receiver. You know, a guy that can come in. He's not going to do crazy things, but he can be there. He's going to be a guy that maybe he does go off one week. You know, maybe he does. You know, I see him statistically wise, how he can contribute is like a Christian Kirk.
Okay.
Obviously, they do things differently, but in a fantasy perspective, if you put their stats, I can take Christian Kirk's stats and put on John Mechie. Like, you know what? I can see that happening.
Okay, Desmond Ridder at the 3-2. I was considering going Ridder there. I mean, at this point, at the 3-2 in a SuperFlex, take a shot on take a shot on a quarterback that you like at that point. So now I'm seeing I'm interested who you're gonna take. There's about 4 people I'm considering here. I don't know if I should say them or not because I don't want to skew the draft. Should I say it or not? The people I'm considering.
Nah, don't say it because then once they come out, then we can kind of talk about it. Let them go for it here.
Okay, this is difficult, man. This is really difficult.
It definitely breaks now. Now you're going hella high upside. Whoever you believe in right here. It's a 3rd round.
Yeah. I'm trying to decide if I'm following my rankings or my heart here. And at this point, I don't know how.
I'm split. I follow my rankings.
There's literally 5 players I am deciding between right here. And I think at this point, I think I'm going to go Carson Strong. I do like Carson Strong.
Okay.
Superflex League, I think
That's who I was gonna take.
he could rise in the real NFL draft. He could end up being a late second round pick.
Look, I'm hearing a lot of stuff about Carson Strong. Obviously analysts, you should kind of take it with a grain of salt, but yeah, he's a guy that has been rising up in my rankings that I'm keeping an eye out on. If he lands in a really good spot, he could be a guy that, he can may not be this year, but maybe next year, maybe he's going to sit a year back behind somebody and then come in. I think of someone.
For me, I could see him having a season like Davis Mills just had. Like,
exactly.
He's a solid, reliable quarterback. And I think he could step in for a team that's struggling and win a couple games for them and show a little bit of promise, because this guy is extremely accurate, was already in a pass-heavy system there in Nevada, threw a ton of balls and only threw interception on 1.3% of his passes. Really, really interesting quarterback to watch. I actually have him ranked higher than Ritter. I know a lot of people won't like that, but I like his game more than what I saw from Ritter. I was also considering Shakira there at the 3-3. And a couple other names.
Those were two guys that were on my queue, and obviously you guys kind of took it. Let's catch up with the chat here. Do you think more teams from Dave here? Do you think more teams will try Bengals tactic with Burrow and Chase since it worked out so well? Maybe. I mean, all the tactics, probably besides Devonta Smith, didn't really work out. With Jalen Hurts. Tua, it was Tua and Waddle.
Tua and Waddle worked out for sure.
Yeah, and obviously Burrow and Chase, and then we'll see.
I think that's a very unique situation, though. I mean, Chase and Burrow, the connection they had, not everyone's going to have that same connection in high school. I mean, these are guys that literally won a national championship together. They both had the best seasons ever, at that point for their positions or close to. And I think that's just a very unique situation where they hit so well. It all depends on Wan'Dale's size, if he's a better prospect than Watson. But if Wan'Dale doesn't have the measurements, bye-bye. I can understand that perspective for sure. I can understand that. So after Shakira, we see Jalen Weidemeyer off the board at the 3-5. Interesting guy. Fits the wide receiver tight end hybrid. He did play a little wide receiver in high school as well. Massive frame. And then James Cook at the 3-6. I promise you, all 4 of these players that just went off the board are all players I was considering at the 3-3. Except for Weidemeyer, I think I would have waited a little bit longer on him, but I do understand why you take him there.
Yeah, the 3 guys that was also on my queue: Carson Strong, Khalil, and James Cook, which really just leaves me with another running back here, and the only guy left on my queue, and that's Dameon Pierce. I think might as well take a shot on him here. Maybe it's a little bit too early, but I think I'd rather go with him, and then I can grab maybe another wide receiver, a late wide receiver that I might like.
Yeah, I can understand that. I'm just trying to catch up with the chat. Quote says, combine free agency trades and draft are going to shake up a lot. Definitely. There's what we can all agree on is the board's going to look different. This board will look different by the time you draft. Daniel says, for your Dynasty startup leagues, will you guys be doing rookie draft and then a vet draft, or will you combine it into one draft? We'll likely combine it into one. But what we like to do is we like to let you guys vote on things. Exactly. We want you guys to make that decision in our league. So when we're all in that sleeper chat together, we'll make a poll. And if you guys want to put them all together, that's what we'll do. If you don't, then we'll make them separate. Typically, we like to give you guys as much power as possible in those leagues. Where else were we? Okay, so let's talk about. Is this Zamir White? Okay, this is Zamir White.
That is Zamir White.
Zamir White's off the board. Obviously, I think he was a 5-star recruit, wasn't he? And tore ACLs in both of his knees in back-to-back years. So talent's there. Will he be the same player at this point in the third? We're all drafting off of upside. So
yeah. All right, Cody. Oh, love, man. Appreciate you. I'm just reading through everything.
Zach Miller says Carson Strong has a chance to solidify a starting job, just like Mills this season. A team might fall in love with his skill set and take a shot on him, and he might prove himself. Definitely agree. Quote Nation says Curtis Samuel, Josh Palmer, Nico, and DPJ are some of his favorite buy lows. I like the list.
Yeah, I love Josh Palmer. I love Nico Collins as well. Guy I just traded for was Nico. And I have Josh Palmer in a couple leagues as well.
Yeah, Sleeper Marcus makes a great point. Andrew Luck and Kobe Fleener didn't work out. So, I mean, it doesn't always work out that way in the NFL, you know? Cody says, got to check out a little early tonight. All right, have a good one, Cody. All right, so then we see Justin Ross and Zonovan Knight had a really, really good start to his career over there at North Carolina State, but has kind of fallen off. I think that worries some scouts that he's not really shown what he did early in his career, but still a good prospect to target there. Justin Ross at 3.9. I love Justin Ross. The spine injury really worries me. I wish that never happened for him, but super resilient player. And then Tolbert. And I actually don't know who this is. I have no idea. Pierre Strong. I might not know who this is. You guys, we never want to pretend like we know a player and comment on it if we don't. So you guys let us know. Is this someone that we should be paying attention to? Looks like he's out of North Dakota State. Catching up with the chat. If the Steelers take a quarterback in the first round, whoever it is will be early first round pick in SuperFlex leagues. I can see that happening for sure.
Yeah, I think so as well. And I think that's hopefully is Malik. But
Isaiah Likely at the 4-1, another really fun prospect. Had a pretty good pro day as well. Kind of fits the hybrid tight end role. Dave says, would the Niners be willing to go after Watson to help out Lance? Basically a follow-up to my last question. I don't think so, to be honest. One, they don't have the draft capital, if you think about it. You know, they don't have the draft capital to make that move. And secondly, you have to give a player starting... He has to play to get better. You know what I mean? At some point, he has to play in order to get better. So I don't think that would happen personally.
Appreciate you, man.
Hit the get. Thanks, NFL Rookie Talk. Thanks for the sub, man. I appreciate that. I think that puts us at 500 subs.
Hey, congratulations.
Congratulations, brother. Congratulations to the community. Really appreciate it. That is 500. All right, I'm on the board here. There is a couple players that I still really, really love, and players that there's one on the board in particular that I was maybe going to target at the 3-2. I thought to myself, he'll probably fall. And I think you probably know who it is if you've been following this channel for a while. I need to find him. He's buried in the ADP. That's Tyler Beatty. Really, really loved watching Tyler Beatty's film. Not his highlights, his film. He rushed for over 200 yards in a game 5 times this year. In the SEC, by the way. The last player to do that in college football was Jonathan Taylor. I'm not saying he's Jonathan Taylor, but he's a very impressive prospect. The issue is he's 5'8". Typically, running backs don't get drafted when they're 5'8". But really, really like him as a prospect. We'll see. Almost, maybe he doesn't get drafted, but same was said about Jarrett Patterson last year. He was an undrafted free agent. He still has a role. So,
yeah. Gosh, man, it's gonna be interesting. I'm a little bit off Beatty, but I don't know. I'm just off on him. I don't think he is somebody that, for me, could really pique my interest right now. But hey, I want him to prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Let's see what happens. Maybe he gets drafted. Maybe he doesn't. He's not even invited to the NFL Combine right now, so it's going to be interesting to see what that looks like for him.
He is. At least at the Combine.
Oh, he is.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, okay, his journey. I thought you said he wasn't.
No, I was talking about a different player when I said that.
Okay. So yeah,
which I'm gonna see if he's gonna get drafted or not, and then I can tell you about that player that we're both talking about.
Oh yeah, the other guy.
Pierre Strong said apparently in 2021 had
there he goes.
1,600 yards, 7 yards per carry, and 18 tutties. That's impressive. But the other thing to consider there is I'm pretty sure North Dakota State's offense was extremely run heavy, and I'm not sure the competition there, but you can make a case for it. All right, is that Zaquandre White off the board?
Yeah, that is him. So you can kind of talk about him. See,
I love him. I
Zach
really,
loves
really
this
love
guy.
Zaquandre. If Tyler Beatty wasn't there, I think I would have been going Zaquandre White. A little Squan text. No, that didn't work. It worked in the other video when it was an
A
accident.
little Squantex.
Anyway,
Gosh.
little context. He went to Florida State to play running back, was beat out by Cam Akers. They tried to put him at linebacker. Then he went to JUCO for a year and played running back there at JUCO, signed with South Carolina, and shared most of the workload this year, but then beat out Kevin Harris for the lion's share of the workload last year. But it's just the stats aren't going to impress you at all with Zaquandre White. Nothing about his stats will impress you. But if you watch him on film, it's quite impressive, especially the lateral quickness. That really, really impressed me. The one cuts as well, very impressive. Very elusive player.
Yeah.
I think I'm upset that he's not at the combine. You know what I mean? I really, really think.
Right.
I don't know. I think he should have been at the combine. Then we had Keontae Ingram as well, guy out of USC. I like that pick there.
I'm just gonna go with, once again, high upside guy I believe in. Even though he's probably the oldest guy in this draft, I always take him here in the 4th. I feel like no matter where he goes, no matter where I'm at, he's still available, and that's Velus Jones Jr. He was also at the Senior Bowl as well, which is pretty interesting. But yeah,
Okay.
he's gonna be 25 years old during the NFL draft.
Okay. So apparently Pierre Strong went to South Dakota State. That's my mistake. I'll have to look at him more. I can't comment too much on him now because I don't know tons about him, but interesting.
Okay.
Baffet HD says Olave reminds him of Devin Smith. Yeah, that's an interesting. Devin Smith.
Good old D Smith.
Okay.
Okay, it's 500, guys. That's crazy. Appreciate you, man. We appreciate everyone that helped us out to get there. That's huge. That's huge.
Yeah.
Halfway through getting
Sean's like, he also threw 4 touchdowns. I mean, so that means my guy had 22 tutties.
That's funny.
All right. D Price here at the 4-9 off the board. At this point, guys, you're just taking chance on players that you really believe in. Corbin out of Florida State. There's still players on the board that I think I might personally take chances on. We'll have to talk about that after the draft and just have a look back and see who was still there that maybe should have been drafted.
Casey, we definitely like.
I was gonna say, yeah,
Romeo
Dubs isn't off the board. That's what surprised me a little bit. I definitely thought he would be off the board.
I thought he was off the board.
So there he goes at the 412.
There he goes in the 412. So yeah.
Spencer says, when you email me, just let me know if you're emailing me for Sleeper League. I'm not sure what's going on there. All right, let's talk about the players that maybe should have been drafted that were not. Badaki, does anyone stand out to you in particular?
Look, the first person I can think of. Actually, no. I think everyone it's
a couple
gonna go
names
here.
I'm thinking of personally.
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to look through my rankings here.
We didn't talk about Alec Pierce, but I really like that pick there at the 4-2. Very strong hands. Kyle Phillips out of UCLA did not go off the board. I think he's going to be an interesting prospect to watch. Calvin Austin at this point in the round.
I saw Calvin Austin.
At this point, in the 4th round, this dude's got Olympic type speed, so it's definitely worth taking a chance on him.
It's just all those super late round guys that maybe he's going to be on waiver wires. You pick them up, put them in your taxi. Kind of see how they go, like a Calvin Austin.
Obviously, Cole Turner. I love Cole Turner. A lot of people aren't on that Cole Turner train with me, but Cole Turner out of Nevada, I do think he at least deserves to go, in the late 4th round. If you're looking at tight ends, he's a very interesting prospect. But yeah, I think you guys killed it. I think you guys got most of.
We always get at least the majority of them. There's always like 3 or 4, but guys you can still just pick up later on depending on the situation.
The reality is with these running backs, by the way, there are so many running backs. Like there are so many guys who are in this bubble of do a lot of things well, but nothing elite. Do you know what I mean? So Hassan Haskins, Kevin Harris, Sincere McCormick, Abram Smith. There's other running backs that we're not even talking about that that we might be talking about after the draft.
Yeah,
So
exactly. And I always emphasize, this is always going to be different later on. Once these guys, whether it's combine hype, whether it's NFL hype, some rumors, once the NFL draft happens, this is going to look so different. And I'm excited
yeah, it
for it
will.
because like once you put a team with these guys' names, you can just envision what they can do on the field in that jersey, with the quarterback, with that offense, whatever the case may be. So it's going to be really exciting.
For real.
I can't wait.
Guys, thank you so much for helping us hit 500 subs on the stream. That means a lot, and it's been really, really cool to see this community grow. It means a lot that you guys would want to be a part of this. I will say, if you haven't dropped a like, help us hit that like goal. If you haven't hit a like, just drop it. That might help us get to 75. About 25 likes off. Probably won't get there.
We were almost at 50, so that's actually pretty interesting.
But we're gonna plug a couple things that we do that you might be interested in. Okay?
That's right.
First one is Patreon. So why would people want to join Patreon, Badaki?
Yeah, guys, if you don't have anyone to play in the league with, or you just want to join another league, patreon.com/fantasylandfam. Zach and I host dynasty leagues and redraft leagues for you guys, and it's not just any league. Like we invest in these leagues, we put our time and effort to build these leagues, not just anyone. We're not going to have 15 30 leagues. We cut these leagues down, and we make sure that like we are invested in each and every one of these leagues. Not only that, you also get exclusive access, rookie breakdowns, our advice, our rankings, the fantasy hotline, which is technically our advice, where you can talk to us and get our thought process of these different types of trades or players that you're thinking of. So once again, patreon.com/fantasylandfam. It's all love.
Yeah, definitely check out Patreon. Send us a message if you have any questions about it. We don't know how many leagues will be open, but we'll always just have the conversation with each other. Can we do another league? Can we give it everything we have? And if the answer is yes, we'll always open up more leagues. We do have a main channel. I'll just paste it in the chat. Fantasyland Football. That's where we cover redraft content as well as DFS. This year, we're going to start covering DFS over there. But I think that's it. We have another mock draft tomorrow. It is a Dynasty startup draft, right, Badaki?
Yeah, Dynasty startup draft. It's tomorrow? Yeah. Dynasty startup draft tomorrow.
I think so.
8 p.m. Eastern Standard. I was thinking, what's tomorrow? Tomorrow's Friday. Do we do one on Friday?
Tomorrow's Thursday, bro.
Oh my gosh, tomorrow is Thursday. Sheesh.
Well, here in Sydney,
here in Australia, yeah. So yes,
we're living in
tomorrow
the future.
we have a dynasty startup with rookies. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That event should be up here very soon. So stay tuned for that. And once again, if you guys want to join any mock drafts, and you guys haven't been able to join and you always just been in the chat, please send us a message. Let us know if you've been trying to get into a mock draft and haven't been. Send a message to Fantasyland Football in our Discord channel. And hey, join our Discord as well. It is growing. It is happening. It is literally hip hop happening. Like there's mad heads in here. Mad heads.
Who says that?
I mean, the stay home dad potentially. It's hip hop happening, guys.
Oh my gosh.
I think of Super Bad. It's like, hey man, like that guy when he gets hit by a car.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do remember Superbad, but I don't remember that specific scene.
That was the first time I heard the word blasphemous, I'm pretty sure.
Blasphemy.
Yeah. It's like, what? What the hell is that word? I remember Googling.
Superbad makes me think of like high school. Jeez.
I think it came out in high school, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It makes me think of that time period in my life. I'm old now. I'm getting old. We're all dying every day. Just closer to death. Too real? Too dark? Maybe. Maybe too dark. Maybe too dark for a what day is it there? Tuesday night. All right, guys.
Love, yeah.
Huge
Appreciate
love.
you guys.
Thanks for joining us. Means more than you know. And lastly, again, if you haven't dropped a like, it means a lot to us. It's going to help more people find the channel. So drop a like if you haven't done so. Have an amazing rest of your night. tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join the Discord if you want info on that mock tomorrow. Otherwise, we will see you there.